Tim, go ahead.
Hey, Dan, how you doing today?
Good.
Hey, I was just curious, a short week and with Baltimore coming in, just can you just take me through how the preparation goes on a Monday night game to quickly turn around and face a talented Baltimore team on Sunday? Just what were the logistics of the last maybe couple of days like to get ready for Sunday?
Yeah, well, today was their day off, and then tomorrow we're going to have them come in a little bit later in the afternoon, and then it'll be more of a we'll get our base install in, get the scouting report, and then it'll be really more of a walkthrough to try to get their bodies back. They're going to need a couple of days to recover, so tomorrow we'll work that way, and then the day after will be really a normal Thursday practice, and we'll go full speed and then be on track. They got to be mentally honed in. You don't get as much physical work as you want, but mentally we got to be sharp.
Thanks.
Yep.
Justin.
Hey Dan, now that you've kind of had two games to see it live and process the film, beyond effort, what are you kind of looking at as the foundation of your defense that you can build upon?
Yeah, I mean, I think I think we're looking for guys that are going to challenge on the perimeter is one, and we're looking for guys that are going to rally to the football. Like you watch Alex Anzalone, man, I thought he was all over the field last night. Was it perfect? No, but man, he was from point A to point B. He was damn near on every tackle. And I think that's the type of guys we're looking at. I think Brockers is another example of that. I think those guys are people that set the tone. I thought he played well. So I think we're trying to create a defense that we're going to challenge you on the perimeter up front. We're going to play the run. We're going to build the wall. And then once we know it's a pass, we got to get to the quarterback. I didn't feel like our rush was there when it needed to be on early downs.
John.
Hey, Dan, good afternoon.
Hey, how you doing?
Very well. I'm wondering if you could elaborate with me your strategy there late in the second quarter in terms of obviously trying to keep the ball away from Aaron Rodgers versus using the timeouts to potentially maximize the team's chances to get that touchdown in a game when you needed a lot of points.
Yeah, it was first and foremost, they had 3 timeouts left. And so we knew, A, we didn't want to give the ball back to him. And B, we wanted to come away with points because we had one more possession than they did. We were on our 4th possession. They were on their 3rd. So to us, it was like, how do we use all of this clock and come away with points? Certainly a touchdown would have been great. But we felt like we handled it pretty well. We got down there in position. We took a shot. We didn't get a touchdown out of it, but we did get a field goal to go up 3 at halftime and not give the ball back to him.
And as a quick follow-up then, if a similar situation presented itself in another game, it would probably be handled in a similar way?
Yeah, it would be.
Appreciate it. Thanks,
to me, you don't want to give that ball back to your opponent. You want to make sure you come away with points. That's the most important thing.
Thank you.
Yep.
Ojo.
Hey there, Dan. You mentioned last night after the game that you pinned this on the offense. Is part of that because you expect more out of them, especially the way they played in the first half? It's almost like you're, admonishing the kid that has more promise because they did show so much promise in the first half.
I'm just, I am a believer in every game has its own situations, its own style, its own just where it can go. And I just felt like this was another one of those games that, you assume going into it, Packers are going to score. They got Aaron Rodgers, but you don't know until you get into the flow of the game. I've been part of plenty of games where you thought it was going to be a high-scoring game, and it ends up being very low-scoring. But knowing where it was going, it was back and forth offensively. And I just felt like, look, man, when you get in that type of game, your offense has to score more points than they do. And that's where it was going. I don't think it'll always be that way, but that's where we were at, you know. I got a lot of faith in our offensive line and our backs and the play caller. And so yeah, that's just how I think, you know what I mean, Bob? That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I understand. On the 4th and 1 play, is that something, well, obviously it didn't work, so you probably would wish something different, but is that where you use the offensive line and your backs, generally speaking, going forward?
Well, you know, we tried to do it last week, you know. We were down there and it ended up being a 4th and a very, very long 1.5 yards, if you will, and it didn't work out. And so sometimes you're just trying to find the best flow on 4th down for that week, you know. We were trying to get it in the hands of our playmaker and they took that away and somebody else has to win and it didn't work out.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Dave?
Some of you guys look pretty tired, by the way.
6 a.m. flight back. So
Yeah.
6:30. So
I hear you.
long
Monday
day.
night game.
Yeah, I know. Two things. First, you mentioned Alex earlier. Maybe you can just expand on him and what you saw from Jamie too. You know, that was a little talk yesterday about how they played and whether Derek deserves some snaps coming up in future games.
Yeah, I thought, like I say, Alex wasn't perfect, but I thought he was all over the field and made a lot of plays. I thought he was, you know, he played with a lot of energy. I think he was spot on with his calls. And look, he's high effort. He's high effort. He's smart. He's kind of what we're about here. And so I liked where he was at. You know, Jamie had some mistakes. It wasn't certainly his best performance. And yeah, I think Barnes deserves a shot.
How could that look, giving Barnes a shot going forward? Rotationally? I mean,
we'll talk about it tonight, Dave. AG and I, we've already, like last night we spoke a little bit, this morning we did, and we've been in game planning, you know, just trying to get everything down because we got the players in tomorrow, but tonight we're going to really sit down and say, all right, this is how we're going to, you know, this is how we want to handle it. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself as to exactly what it's going to look like yet.
Sure. One other thing on the linebackers, you mentioned, you know, Alex being high effort. I think that's been one of the criticisms about Jamie is maybe he's not as high effort. I don't know. Do you see that too? Is there something to that?
No, well, I mean, look, Jamie's a big linebacker, right? He's a very athletic linebacker, you know, and you know, the way he moves is a little bit different. Now, does he move with the same effort and have the same effort as Alex? No, I don't. I think Alex just plays at a high level all the time. That's him. That's how he goes. But, you know, Jamie, there's things that Jamie does well that we still have to continue to use. He's still a mismatch on 3rd down, particularly in the rush game. And, you know, we'll see where this goes.
And then very last thing, you guys took the ball when you won the toss yesterday. Was that more about just the game itself? Is that a sort of belief that you hold, or maybe you can walk me through that decision?
No, I think that's another one where, you know, I used to, when I was at Miami, I deferred all the time. I was going to defer. And it was like, you know, and then at some point I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go with my gut. My gut said we take the ball and go down and score. And so, you know, we did that and it worked out for this game.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Last one for Kyle.
Hey, Dan, you look a little tired too, so hopefully get some sleep here. I'm still sitting in my hotel room in Appleton, so yeah, it's been a long couple of days. Dave took my question, so I just will wrap up real quick with Melifonwu. Just is there an update there on where he's at?
Yeah, so, man, you know, well, first of all, man, I thought the kid did some good things. I really did, man. I'm like that. It's a step in the right direction. I thought he went out and competed. So I feel bad for him. He's going to be down for a little while. You know, he's going to be down for a significant amount of time. And so certainly won't have him on for at least a couple of weeks, if not more, you know, and so we'll see where this goes. But yeah, we're not going to have him.
So we're back to next man up then, which I feel like we've talked about quite a bit here first couple of weeks of the season. So how did Bobby come out on the film, and is he your guy going forward? Do you have to look at, other options at that position?
Yeah, actually, I thought he did pretty good. I thought he went out there and competed, I thought he played aggressive. He was unfazed, man, it was encouraging. So I would say right now, certainly he's the guy that we're looking at being over there. We signed Worley last week. We're not totally against him, us getting a look with him. And so that'll be something there again, we talk about tonight in depth as to how we want to go. We got Jerry as well. So, but I was pleased with the way that Bobby came in and competed.
Thanks, Tim.
All right, thanks, guys. If you wouldn't mind hopping off, we have one other thing.